Okay, I guess we begin. So I've been trying to write code a particular app that I've been having for many years in my head for some weeks now, and I'm just here to share the experience that I have been having during the past 1 to 2 weeks of vibe coding this particular application. So the application is actually called Football Intelligence. Let me show you the interface and what I've been able to do so far. Now, while this is loaded, it's important for me to tell you that I do not have any coding experience. I do not have any programming experience. I do have some little HTML and CSS and maybe JavaScript, but I don't have that, a lot of programming and developer experience. So what you see here is actually what I've been able to purely do just by vibe coding. That's writing prompts and feeding it to a coding agent, and the agent is giving me what I have. Now, what you see here is football intelligence is sort of like, so the idea I had was to create a type of AI powered sport betting tip sort of analysis type of websites where you have a system where the AI does its, analysis, goes on the web and checks information about upcoming matches. And then it synthesizes the data, that information, and then it feeds it to another um, large language model like OpenAI or ChatGPT, GPT-5, and then that information is further analyzed and it's able to come up with some sort of football prediction as to the next matches that are coming up now. So this is an idea that I've been having for for many years now. I have a friend of mine who is into sports betting, and I thought that okay, and he does a lot of tipping. He puts out a lot of sport betting tips on social media, and I thought maybe having some sort of agent or website that sort of does it in an automated fashion and is able to output that information. So of course, what he does, he goes online and he browses the internet and he tries to get some data and some information, and then he goes online and then he uses the information to synthesizes all that data, and then he puts it together and come up with some sort of football prediction, and he puts it on his website and on social media, and apparently he's making a lot of money from that. So I thought maybe I put together some sort of app that does that. So without having any coding or programming experience and with vibe coding and building with artificial intelligence coming up, I thought maybe I should just go ahead and see if I can start building something along that line just using vibe coding. I've always wanted to vibe code up, always been fascinated about the idea because I'm an entrepreneur myself. I have developed or I have managed several app projects where I had to employ or work with a lot of developers. But and sometimes you go back and forth with them. So the whole idea of having some sort of coding agent that you can iterate with and build an application is fascinating to me. So this is actually the first project that I'm working on to see how how this goes. So far this is what I've been able to do. Now if you look on my screen, you will see that I have been able to put together. So this is the interface. It's called Football Intelligence. You can see it up here. And then you have so the way it works is that you have different match cards. So these are the different matches that are going to be taking place over time. The next match is actually taking place sometime on Monday, September 15th. And then you have a good number of matches that will be taking place some other days. I'm not very good with ball. Actually, I just thought that I did something, and of course, I'm going to share it with my friend who is much more experienced with with soccer and with football and with betting and all that. What you're seeing right now was built solely with the help of AI. You know, AI is the one who is doing the analysis. It's going, and the way the whole prompt works is that it's going online and it's searching the internet based on the prompts that I've given it, and then it's now coming back to give some sort of information as to, some sort of prediction as to who is going to win the game or who is likely to win the game, what would be the score at the end of the game, things like that. I mean, this is what sport tipsters do. So, but of course, I'm going to pass it to my friend who is much more of an expert, and then maybe working with him, we can maybe have something that works. But that's not, this whole video is not about sport betting and tipping. It's really about my experience in building out this application and the challenges that I am going through. Now, like I said, I don't have any coding experience. I don't have any programming experience. I'm just someone who already have in my head the idea of what I want to build, and I am trying to figure out how to use Vibe coding to put it together. So this is what I have. So far we have a beautiful interface. This interface was actually thought out by the large language model. What the UI as I had in mind was completely different from what I'm seeing right now. And to be honest with you, what the AI in terms of user interface has come up with is a lot more brilliant than what I was able to think up in my head. This is a lot better. So it has all the matches in like card forms, and then you can move from, so far right now I have only like 3 leagues here: the Premier League, La Liga, and Serie A. So it's pulling. So if I go to Premier League here, for today's match, well, today is not actually, so this is another bug that I'm facing. So but we're going to get to that. But right now it's saying that today is September 21st, but today is it's currently not September 21st, but it's a bug that probably over time we can fix. But right now, you can actually filter through the matches for the day. You can filter through matches that is going to come up the next day, tomorrow. You can also filter like a full list, and this full list is sort of like a 4 weeks period of the matches that are taking place within a 4 weeks period. And then you can also filter with matches that are taking place just within the week. And then you can go through different European leagues. So we're focusing mainly on European league. So you can go through La Liga. So if I click on La Liga, it brings up only the matches from the La Liga league, which is the Spanish league, if I'm not mistaken. I'm not a football guy, but at least I know a couple of a couple of stuff in football. So, but hey, I'm just a business guy. I'm just someone who is seeing an opportunity. I'm trying to see how I can cash in on that opportunity. I'm going to tell you a little bit why I'm building this app and my rationale behind it, and why I think this is an idea that I wanted to explore. And then we're going to get to that much later. But for now, this is what we've been able to put together with the AI. So you can, of course, go to Serie A, which is, I believe, an Italian league, and you can also filter through all the matches. So far, the interface, the UI, the user interface is looking great. It's looking good. I can also switch from light mode to dark mode. I have a blog session somewhere here which shows all, and these blogs again are AI generated. So there's a prompt that feeds into that there's a prompt that handles how it's takes information from the API, the football odds API, and then it's uses that information to browse the internet and come up with some sort of blog to show. The idea for this blog is really for SEO purpose, so that hopefully if this app goes live, people can find it based on the different matches that are taking place. So there's a blog session. There is a Martin is showing. Okay, there's a how it works session. Again, just explaining what the app is about, how to use it, and things like that. And then we'll go back to the matches, which again goes back to the cards. Now, this is so far user interface looking great. It's looking amazing. Now, this is where I'm struggling. Where I'm struggling is the AI analysis itself. And for some reason, I keep I have again the UI is amazing. The large the coding agent has done a great job, I must tell you, in putting together an amazing user experience. And all this that you see here is something that was done within a week. Within a week of prompting back and forth, back and forth. And later I'm going to share with you the prompt that I use for this particular project. Is quite an elaborate prompt. Is really long. It has all the details. There are tons of videos on YouTube that show you how you can write prompts if you're vibe coding. But yeah, so I have a prompt, and the prompt is quite very very detailed. But so far I've been running into like a major challenge. I've shared this particular website with my friend who is an expert in sports betting, and he loves the interface. He says the interface is amazing. He gave me some pointers as to what I can do to improve the AI analysis. So this is the trial AI analysis. So you have the difference. So when you click, if I come here and I say maybe click on AC Milan and Bologna FC. Again, I'm not a football guy, so I'm sorry if I'm not pronouncing it properly, but if I come here and I say, okay, I want to see what is AI's prediction about this particular match, and I click view AI analysis, it opens this model. And then when you look at the model, it sort of gives you a more detailed, supposed to give you a more detailed explanation as to the analysis. And first, it starts with a prediction. It is an AI prediction. It has a 75% high confidence. Now, something beautiful you should know. This 75% high confidence is, I didn't come up with it. I didn't even think about it when I was putting together my prompts. It's something that the large language model thought of itself. It thought, okay, yeah, maybe we should have some sort of confidence written. And I thought that was really, really cool. And it actually also came up with its color coding. So if it's 75, if it's like 80% AI confidence and above, it will be green. If it's 79 below, it's going to be yellow. If it's 40% down, it's going to be like red. I thought that was really, really brilliant. I didn't think about it. It just appeared in the UI, and I thought that was an amazing idea. Although I did prompt it again to sort of move where it's displayed, and there was a bug around this AI confidence, but we fixed it. But let's not go too far into that. But I just wanted to point out that this was totally an idea of the coding agent, and I think that was brilliant. So it gives us the match prediction. So according to its analysis, it believes that AC Milan is going to win by 2-1 based on its analysis. So what it does is that it goes online, it browses the internet, it goes and I'll share with you the prompt, but we have all these parameters that we've set in the prompt that sort of gives it a guide as to the kind of information that it should be looking for. And again, my friend who is also a sports betting expert gave me some insight as to what the AI should be looking for, and then use that information, synthesize all that data, and come up with some sort of expert analysis, which it puts together in like a JSON format. Again, I'll share it with you. Just stick with me. Anyway, so So yeah, so this is what we have. So it has win probabilities. So AC Milan 40% to win, draw 30%. It also says draw is likely here. And evenly matched teams, AI confidence is medium because it's 75%. Now, this is where I'm having major problems here. The expert consent, what I call the expert consensus and key insight. I'm going to explain that to you later. And then, of course, we have detailed analysis. Now, this is actually where I'm sort of stuck, and it's difficult for me to move further than this. I have prompted the AI time and time again, and we still keep getting expert consensus unavailable analysis based on available data. And it's crazy, but I'm going to share with you the challenge that I'm actually going through, and where I believe probably if I was much more of an expert developer, I would be able to crack the problem a lot faster. I've not given up yet. I'm still going to go on it because this journey for me is an exciting one. I'm, doing it for fun. I'm not expecting to make a lot of money from the website, although sport betting is a multi-billion-dollar industry, and honestly, if I'm able to pull this off, definitely there is going to be some value there. So I'm not just going to be throwing it out just yet. But so far, the UI is looking great. It has. My friend said he doesn't really understand what this is, so maybe we're going to be taking out this team news and lineup. It's actually supposed to give you some sort of insight as to the team lineup. So it has key statistics, goals 1.5, considered 1.0. It has all these great analysis from the search that it has done online, and it puts it there. It has information about the top scorers. Well, again, the information is not here at the moment. It used to be there, but right now, like we needed to have like names of the top scorers here, but it's not showing at the moment. We have head-to-head analysis. We have professional betting analysis. The user interface is great. Risk assessment is great. The only challenge we're having is okay. Let me tell you what the challenge that we're facing. And please, if you have any idea or any insight, please just let me know in the comment section, because again, I'm not an expert, I'm not a guru, I'm just a regular guy who is interested in vibe coding and the premises of vibe coding, and I'm just trying it out. So those of you who are a lot more of an expert, please let me know in the comment section what I'm doing wrong. And yeah, but for now, what is happening is so let me explain what is happening here. So this expert consensus, what is actually supposed to be happening here is, so I had an idea in my head. So before now, we had a situation where it would give the mark prediction, and it would give the key statistics and, these top scorers, and some other information. All these informations were there. And of course, the confidence rating was there. And then here, we are actually supposed to have what you call key insight. I will show you an example, but here it's just supposed to give you some sort of insight as to what the like a kind of summary of its research, of the AI research. So what the AI research, the summary was supposed to appear here. So, and this expert consensus. So I figured out that when I first did it, I found out that sometimes the prediction the AI would give would be a lot different from what other experts are predicting out there. So, for example, sometimes AI can say that AC Milan is going to win this match, but I would now try to compare it with what other tipping websites and other tipsters are saying, and I'll find out that maybe a good number of them are predicting that the other team is going to win the match. So I thought maybe I have a section that gives that insight as to what other people are saying. Okay. So that someone who is watching who is reading this would have like insight as to what other people are saying and what this particular AI is predicted. So to give them more, information, to give them more, to make them more informed in their choices if they are betting or anything like that. Anyway, so that I've not been able to go through. So the moment I started implementing that, so far the key insight was working very well. The detailed analysis section was working very well. The AI was populating those fields very well. But the moment I started asking it to do this other thing, the whole thing just fell apart. And it's difficult for me to just move on. Let me see if I can find out a particular match where the AI analysis is actually complete. Let me see this: Arsenal versus Manchester City. Okay, it still says analysis generating. Another bug that I'm facing. Okay, let's see this one. Okay, most of this one is analysis generating. Let's see. Okay, so you see, so this is another problem that I'm facing. So, yeah, it keeps saying some of these matches are the AI, the language model is not really pulling through. To give insights, to provide the match prediction and everything. But we're going to go in the back end and I'll show you some things. But what I want to say here right now is that so far so good. And what do I mean by that? AI is doing a very good job in putting together a nice user interface. And I'm using, in case some of you are wondering what coding agent I'm using, I'm not using Windsor, I'm not using Cursor, I'm actually using Replit. That's what I'm using. And I feel Replit is a lot easier, especially for people who don't have a ton of technical background and technical experience. Replit just makes the process a lot easier. So that's what I'm using. Cursor on Windsor is amazing. I was building something on Cursor. I'm going to share that in another video. But for now, this is what I'm doing on Replit. This is a project that I'm working on at the moment, and I just thought that I share with you guys. And so far, the user interface is good. The database is also amazing. So if I go to the database here, you can see that it has, all this data. So the SQL is working really good. So this is where my front end is pulling all the information from. So the cards that you see my front end is all coming from here. You can see there's a content. So here is the contents. Premier League, Clash. Okay, so this is the database that handles the blog. So let's not go there. Where I'm struggling with is the match analysis. And this match analysis is actually the core of the application, because this is where AI is populated all the information. So it goes online. It's meant to go online, do his research, do some sort of summary of his research based on the prompts that I've given it. And then it feeds that prompt. It feeds the summary of his research to another agent who takes that information and comes up with some sort of match analysis. Now, and then that analysis is fed to this database. So here you have the confidence, the prediction. You also have, let's see, we have a comprehensive analysis. So you can see here it says comprehensive analysis not available. So here I'm using Perplexity to do the research, because Perplexity does a better job in, browsing the internet. So I'm using, so the idea is that Perplexity does the research and comes up with a summary, and then it gives that summary to ChatGPT. And ChatGPT is meant to do the other things. So it's meant to do the statistics, it's meant to do the prediction analysis, it's meant to do also the expert consensus. It's also meant to do this analysis text. So where you have that key insight section in the model, this is where the data is actually supposed to be coming from. But you see, so there's an issue there, and maybe in another video I'm going to sort of break down the challenges that I'm going through. But so far, the problem that I'm having is that so let me show you something. Now, the way we do this stuff, the way we're building is that this is the tab where we're interacting with our agent. So over here is where over here, this section here is where we are talking with our agent, and we'll chat with the agent, adjust this, change that, and then the agent will go and rewrite the code and come back. So this is what this is, really where I do all the building over here. So you can see the interaction that I've been having with the agents. I've been trying as much as possible to fix the match analysis. You can see here I asked, please go through the database and ensure the match analysis fields are properly updated by the AI. And then it says, I can see from the logs that Perplexity is start working perfectly and generating. So it says is the Perplexity is generating rich data, but GPT-5 is still returning an empty JSON. So like I explained to you, the way the system is meant to work is that Perplexity does the research, has a summary, and then it gives that summary to GPT-5. And GPT-5 is meant to return, to bring everything back in a JSON format. And then that JSON format would be used to populate the database, which would, be taken, which would now be rendered in the user interface for everybody to see. So far, according to this, it keeps saying that Perplexity is working perfectly and GPT-5 is but GPT-5 is the problem. GPT is not returning. It's taking that information, and for some reason it has refused to return its response in a JSON format. And that's, I think, except something different in the comment section, let me know. But I think that is the best way that I can feed the information into the database. But I've been struggling with that. You can see here it says the agent ran into an error. You can see here it says I got an error because the column name is wrong. So it's debugging the code and trying to fix it. And so here it says great news, the rich Perplexity data is being stored. So that's another problem I was having before. The way it ran was that it would do the summary and quickly give it to GPT-5, and GPT-5 will now use that to generate its will write its thing and then populate the database. But because I was going through a lot of problems, I thought, okay, you know what? I'm going to create a column so I wanted to be sure that Perplexity was doing its job. I didn't just want to rely on the AI. The AI tells me it's working perfectly, and I agree it's working perfectly. So what I did was I asked the AI to create a specific column to log in all the summaries coming from Perplexity. So that I can see with my own very eyes that, okay, Perplexity is really doing its job. So that's why if you go back to the database, you will see that column. It wasn't there before, but we put it in there so that you just need to know that Perplexity is doing its job. So apparently, yes, Perplexity was doing its job, and for some reason, GPT-5 was not returning JSON format. Now, before I brought the Perplexity into the mix, what we were doing was GPT-5 would just do some sort of analysis and provide it. But, there was a lot of problem with that. And I noticed that GPT-5 was not really going on the internet and coming up with real-time data to inform its analysis. It was just using data from its trained data. And That was a problem because there was a lot of hallucination. So I thought, let's go online, let's research the information. But somehow the web feature on GPT-5 was not just working. I tried everything, went back, came back, the, the but it was not working. So I thought, okay, what else can I do? So that's how I decided, because I didn't want to use two different large language models. I wanted to have everything handled by GPT-5 because I thought GPT-5 could browse the internet. And if you're watching this, let me know. Can GPT-5 model browse the internet? I mean, of course, when we go to chat GPT on the internet and we chat with it, it browses the internet. But for some reason, it's not just working. The API that is I'm using, for some reason, it's not just working. And so that's why I decided, okay, let's do Perplexity instead. But now it's taking that information from Perplexity and it's not returning a JSON. But prior to this, when it was just using its own training data, it had no problem in returning JSON in JSON format. But right now, for some reason, it's not just returning in JSON format. So you can see here that I've been going back and forth with the agent trying to figure out how to fix the problem. So here it says, I found the issue. GPT-5 prompt is extremely long and complex. Well, like I said, I used a really, really long prompt. So maybe that's where the problem is. We don't know. They say, so with a massive JSON template that is likely overwhelming the model, and then it's trying to simplify it. Anyway, so far, that is how far I've gone. My verdict so far is that vibe coding, beautiful UI, it's very good with UI. The user interface is great, it's amazing, but there's a bit of a struggle with the backend. And of course, if I was an experienced developer or programmer, I would probably have been a lot faster in figuring out what the problem is and I would have solved it. But I'm still struggling to figure it out. At some point, I even had to take some of the errors I'm seeing here and take it to ChatGPT on the websites to, ask it what the hell is going on. And then back and forth, but we're still struggling. So yeah, I think it's maybe because I don't have a ton of programming experience, but the fact that I'm able to go this far with the little programming knowledge and tech knowledge that I have, for me, I think is amazing. I know if I keep going at it, if I keep cracking at it, I'm very sure at the end of the day, I'm going to have a product that is working so far. Like, for example, the blog session of the website is working amazing. It's great. It's doing its job really, really well. I mean, what I'm even thinking at the end of the day is I might just, at the end of the day, just resort to just the blog session. So we have the API that retrieves match information, match dates, and times, and fixtures, and then I can just use that API and ask Perplexity or to go online and do a research and write blogs, and then I can have some sort of AI agent run type of blog that puts out match predictions or match analysis week in, week out. I mean, that can work. I think that would be good. I mean, the blog session is working amazing. It's great. If I would show you here, it's beautiful. It's nice. I don't have a problem with the blog session. Like you click on it, it opens the blog session. It's great. I like it. So I can resort to that. But I really, really like the idea of having this match and people can click through and get the different match analysis. So far, that is where I'm struggling, but I think I'm going to crack it. I have an idea on how I'm going to go. For what I want to do right now is I want to put this to a close and start again from the beginning. I'm going to adjust some of the prompts that I used initially. Like I said, there's a really, really long prompt. If you want to see the prompts that I use, just let me know in the comment section, and I would find a way to. I would send it to you. I'll let you know where it is. I'll probably put a link for you to check it out. But have a prompt that I put is really, really long. I might make some changes, make some adjustments to the prompt. But for now, I think I'm going to stop this where I am right now, because the more I keep iterating through the site, the more uh, I'm wasting credits. So I think right now, I'm one stop. I have a different approach that I'm going to use in coming up with this. I'm not giving up yet. I just have a different approach, and I'm going to be sharing that with you in the future as I build. So this is a new venture for me. This is a new challenge, and if you want to support me to go through this challenge and see me at the end of the day, as a normal guy who just has an idea to put up some sort of website, like the video, subscribe, and then the more I see people do that, then the more I know, okay, this is something that people are interested in, and people are really, really interested in following my journey. Again, I'm not a programmer. I'm not a developer. I'm just a regular guy who has an idea in my head. And I think vibe coding is going to help me, put it that I have a ton of other ideas for application software that I want to build. And with the whole hype in vibe coding, I thought, hey, why don't I try? Because most of the people who do these vibe coding videos are people who already have programming experience, a good number of them. But I just thought it would be interesting for someone, a regular guy, which represents a lot of people who have ideas. How possible is it to put out, an app out there, to build an app by vibe coding? And I thought I'd take up this challenge. So if you're really interested in following me on this journey, please please subscribe to my channel. This is the way that you're going to support me. Like and subscribe to my channel. And then, of course, I'm going to be sharing my experience with you over time. I'm sorry, I'm getting some messages coming in case you're hearing that noise. But I'm going to be sharing my experience with you, hopefully every day or every week, who knows, I don't know. But follow me on the journey. Also let me know in the comment section what you think I'm doing wrong, how you think I can do this whole thing better. And if you also want to see the prompt that I'm using, also let me know in the comment section, and I'll be sharing that prompt with you. And then let's see, what we're going to do so far. But for now, I'm going to put this at a pause for now, and I'm going to rewrite my prompt. I have a different approach. I don't want to share it right now. I just want to be sure of what I'm doing. Then I'm going to be sharing with you. Okay, I have a different approach. I think I have a different approach that I'm going to use, and I believe it's going to work. I believe I'm going to achieve it. So far, I know that the UI is not going to be a problem. So I think it's a back end thing. I just need to figure out the workflow and the pipeline and prompt it accordingly so that AI understands what I want to do. So that's a little bit of a hint of how I'm going to do things differently, because this particular one, I started from the front end, but this time around, the different approaches probably started from the back end and building it up that way. And on that thing is probably maybe making a prompt a bit smaller, shorter, and follow the projects, stage by stage, divide into different chunks, and follow it chunk by chunk. So once I achieve a specific aspect of the project, I move to the next chunk, step by step. I think that's the way I'm going to approach it now. Until then, I'll be seeing you in the next video, and hopefully I'll have something better to show and to share with you guys. Thank you.